Good morning, everyone. Let us start this session. So during the last lecture, we were discussing about the engineering curves, and in that we started with the first curve, that is a cycloid. So we have seen the first example, cycloid of the circle. So this is the second example. A point P is on the circumference of a circle. The point P is 15 degree upward. Draw the cycloid by the point P for one complete revolution, and the diameter of the circle is 50 mm. Okay. So the position of the point P on the circumference, it is given as P is 15 degree upward. Okay. So here I have shown the position. So to start the problem, first draw the circle with the diameter 50 mm. Then locate the given point P on the circumference at the given position. Okay. So this is 15 degree upward. Now next step is, do not divide this circle into 12 equal parts. Okay. So just we have shown the position of this point P. And then from this point, that is the point of contact of this circle with the horizontal straight line. So take the distance that is equal to circumference, which is a 2 pi r. So this distance, this is equal to 157 mm. Okay. So you will get some point here at distance 157. Now this point P, it doesn't lie at the end point of this 1/12 segment. Okay, that means normally we divide the circle into 12 equal parts to draw the cycloid curve. Okay, so suppose instead of the point P, if the point P is here, okay, and if the circle is rolling on this horizontal line, then this point P, it will gradually move upward, okay, and it will take the position, that is successive position, on these horizontal lines. Okay, but in this case, point P, it doesn't lie at the end point of these segments. Okay, and therefore first we will roll this circle by 15 degree. Okay, so generally we roll this circle by 30 degree. So 30 degree, it is corresponding to 1/12th of revolution. So if we divide 360 by 12, you will get 30 degree. Okay, but here we will roll the circle only by 15 degree. Okay, so this angle is 15 degree. So if you roll the circle by 15 degree, then this point P, it will shift upward by 15 degree. Okay, so after 15 degree, this point P, it will take the position on this horizontal line. Okay, and this horizontal line, it represents the line passing through the 1/12 segment. Okay, therefore initially, so you can note down this step. So roll the circle only by 15 degree. That means this 15 degree, it will represent 1/24th of the complete revolution. Okay, so if you roll the circle only by 15 degree, then we have to find out how much distance will be advanced by this point in the horizontal direction. Okay, so this distance of the center point in the horizontal direction, so it is corresponding to 1/24th of complete revolution. That means 1/24th of circumference. Okay, so this horizontal distance, which is traveled by the center point, So this is equal to circumference upon 24th. So this is equal to 157 divided by 24. So this is equal to 6.54 mm. Okay. So that means we will shift this center just by 6.54 mm on the right side. So take this distance on this horizontal line and just draw one vertical line. Okay. So this distance, so this is 6.54 mm. So now take this position for this center as a C dash. Okay. So when this center C, it moves to the C dash location, this point P, it will move upward by 15 degree. That means it will lie on this line. Okay. So gradually it will change the position. And somewhere here, this is the position when circle is rolling only by 15 degree. Okay. So now by taking C as a center, you should draw the complete circle. Okay, because now this point, it will lie on the 1/12th of segment. Okay, and then we can repeat the general procedure. So this is the rolling, which is corresponding to 15 degree. Okay, now you can see here this point P. So you can take this position as a P dash. It lies exactly on this horizontal line. Okay. So after this, by taking C dash as a center, again draw the circle. Okay, so this is the position after 1/12th of, sorry, 1/24th of revolution or 15 degree of revolution. So this point is C dash. Okay, now draw the circle and now divide this circle into 12 parts. Okay, so once you divide this circle into 12 parts, you draw these horizontal lines. So all the lines passing through the end point of the small segments. Okay, now here this point, so this point is the P dash point. Okay, from P to P dash, so this was the P point. After 15 degree of revolution, we get the P dash point. Okay, and then we have to draw the involute for the remaining revolution. Okay, now for remaining revolutions, now we have the distance. So initially, this is the contact point of the circle. Okay, from this point, we have taken total distance, which is equal to 157. That is equal to the circumference of circle. Okay, after that, the circle has traveled the horizontal distance, which is equal to 6.54 mm. That is 157 divided by 24. Okay. Now again, from this point, you take the same distance, which is equal to 157. Okay. So this 157, this is original distance. It is not with respect to this point. Okay. So with respect to this point, just mark again the distance 157. Okay. So I have drawn this point because we want to divide this line into 12 equal parts. Okay. So after this, that is after point C dash, we will allow this circle to roll by 1/12th of revolution. And 1/12th of revolution, it is corresponding to 30 degree. Okay. So after 1/12th of revolution, this C dash point, it will shift to right side by distance circumference by 12. Okay, that means we have to divide this line 157 mm, okay, into 12 parts. Okay, or if you don't want to divide this line into 12 parts by using this procedure, that is, you have to draw this line at 30 degree. Then you have to mark equal distance. You can take any distance, 1 centimeter or 5 mm. Okay, and then you have to connect this. So this is normal procedure to divide the line. You can take this distance directly in your compass. Okay, from this point up to this point. It will not give the exact distance. Okay, but in your exam, you can follow this. Just take this distance. Okay, and you can mark it here. Okay, so it is approximate distance. Okay, so in this way you can divide the line into 12 parts. So in this way you divide this line into 12 parts. So you can observe here, with respect to this initial point, so this distance, it was 157. Okay, so actually this is the distance for one complete revolution of the circle. Okay, but again after this point, that is after C dash point, we have taken the same distance 157. Okay, so this distance, it is just taken to divide this line segment into 12 equal parts. Okay, so now refer this distance 157. So for this 157, we can only have the 11th division. Okay, that means we can roll this circle only 11 complete revolution, and after that, this is the actual last point of the revolution. Okay, so here we will get the distance, that is the remaining distance. It must be 6.54 mm. Okay, do not consider this line segment. So this is the extra portion. So initially we have got the 6.54. Okay, after 11 such segments, small divisions, you must get the 6.54 mm. So now from all this small segment, draw vertical lines. Okay, so here each division, that is subdivision, its distance, it will be 13.08. Okay, it may not be exact, but it is approximately 13.08 mm. Okay, now C dash is the center. This is the position of the point. So this is the P dash. Okay, after that, if the circle is rolling by 1/12 or 30 degree, C dash, it will shift to C1 point. Okay, when C1 is the center, this point P dash, it will shift upward. So it will lie on this line. So by taking C1 as a center, we have to draw this arc. Okay, like this. So you will get the point which is of P1. Then C1 will shift and it will take the position C2. When C2 is the center, we should draw the arc. So this point P1, it will just shift upward. So it will lie on this line. Okay, that is the topmost line. And when C2 is the center, you will get the arc like this, which is tangent to this line. Okay, that means your curve will start from P point. It will move to the P1 point. After that, sorry, P dash point. Then it is P1. Then this is the P2. Okay, after P2, the point P, it will shift downward. So when C3 is the center, you should draw the arc on this line like this. So this is the point P3. When C4 is the center, draw the arc on this line. So this is point P4. For C5, this is the arc which is exactly on this line. So this is P5 point. When C6 is the center, you will get the arc like this. So this is the point P6. Okay. This is C7. So for C7, you will get the arc on this line. So this is the point P7. Now from this point, draw the vertical line. So this is the C8. For C8, the point P exactly in the lowermost line, on the lowermost line. Okay. So this is the point P8. So this is C9. So for C9, this is the point. So again, from C8 to C9, as the circle is moving on the right side, this point P8, it will move upward. Okay. So this is the P9 point. Then at C10, you will get the position like this. So this is the P10. Then for C11, you will get this point exactly on this line. So this is the point P11. And this is the final position. So actually here we will only get the 11th position. Okay. So after that, for this center, I will take this as a just okay, just take this C12. For C12, you should get the position on the line which is passing through the starting point. So you should draw this line. Okay, and from this point, just draw the arc on this line. So this is your final position. So this will be P12. Okay, so you will get the arc like this. Starting from P, then P dash, P1, P12, P3, sorry, P2, P3. This is P4, P5. Okay, so this is your complete cycloid for this point 2. Okay, so I will show the animation, then you can understand this complete motion. So here you can observe the complete cycloid. This is generated by this point at 15 degree with respect to this center line. So initially, this point P, it will move upward. It will reach to the topmost position. Okay, so this is the lowermost point that is in contact with this horizontal line. Okay, and after that, again it will move upward and it will move on the right side. Okay, so this is the final position. Okay, so this final point, it must be in the same horizontal line of the starting point. Okay, so this represents the one complete revolution for the given point, which is at 15 degree upward. So you can refer this drawing. This is how you should draw that. I will explain this. So initially, you have to draw this circle. Okay. Then on this circle, draw one line at 15 degree. Okay, so this is your starting point. So this is the point P. Okay, so initially just imagine the circle is rolling only by 15 degree. Okay, so as the circle is rolling by 15 degree, this center point so this is initial position of the circle. Okay, so this center point, it will just shift right side. So that distance will be 157 divided by 24. Okay, so from this point up to this point, you can see the distance. So this is 6.54 mm. Okay, so 6.54. So this is equal to 157 divided by 24. Okay, that means 15 degree of revolution. So why we have taken this 15 degree of revolution? Because we want to move this point, okay, at this line. Okay, and this is possible if you allow the circle to roll by 15 degree. Now at this center, that is by selecting this center, draw the circle with the diameter 15 mm. Okay, and then divide this circle by circle into 12 equal parts. Okay, so then you can draw these horizontal lines from each segment. Okay, now from this point, that was the initial point. Okay, you should draw the complete line of 157. So you can observe here from this point. So this is the starting point up to this point. Okay, the total distance is 157. So you have to draw this line of 157 from this starting point, not from this location. Okay, so after that, divide this circle into 12 parts, draw the horizontal lines. So now here point P is moving from this location to this location, so this will be P dash point. Okay, so after that, allow the circle to roll by 30 degree. Okay, that means 1/12 of revolution. Okay, and therefore you have to mark this subdivisions of 13.08 or 1/12. Okay, so you can take this distance directly from this point up to this point. Okay, in your compass, and just draw the arc. So you can observe here, you can get 11 complete division. So this is first division, this is second, this is third, fourth, then fifth, sixth, seventh, this is 8, 9, 10, and this is the 11th division. Okay, 12th division, or if you draw the arc, that is 12th arc, then this is the 12th division. Okay, but this is not the last point. So last point of that revolution, so this is the last point. Okay, so distance between these 2 points, that is the remaining distance after 11th division, so it must be 6.54. Okay, so it's the same distance of the first part, 6.54. So now you can select, so this is the C dash point, this is the point C, take this as a C1 point. Okay, so this is C1, this is C2, C3. Similarly, this point, this is C11. Okay, so actually your 12th part will be on the right side, and this will be the last point. So I will just take it as a C point only. Okay. So now from C1, take the radius, that is 25 mm in your compass, and you have to draw the arc on the line which is just above this line. Okay. So this is initial position. After that, point P, it will move on this line. Okay. So you have to draw this arc. Okay. Then when C2 is the center, draw this arc. So it will be exactly in contact with this line. Then when C3 is the center, draw this arc. So again, after this point, point P, it will move downward. Okay. So this is the so this is P dash point. Then this is P1 point when C1 is the center. Then this is P2 point when C2 is the center. This is P3 point. Then this is P4 point. So P4 is when C4 is the center. For C5, you will get the arc exactly on this line. So this is the P5 point. For C6, this P5, it will shift downward on this line. Okay. So this is the P6 point. Then when center is C6 to C7, so this is the C7. The point, it will move downward. So P7 will be on this line. So this is the P7. Okay. For C8, the point P, it will be exactly on this horizontal line. So you will get the tangent arc to this line. So this point, so this is the P8. Again, after P8, point will move on the upward direction. So C8 and this is C9 center. You will get the arc on this line only. So this is the P9 point. Okay. So after C9, this is C10, and for C10, point P9, it will move to the P10th position. So this is for C10. For C11, you will get the arc exactly on this line. Okay, from P10, and this is P11 point. And last point, which is a C. So you will get the arc not on this line. Okay, so this line, that is a green line, it represents 30 degree. So this is the line which represents the 15 degree, or this is the starting point. So on the same line, so this is your point P. So when C is the center, that is the position after C11, you must get the arc on this line. Okay, so this is your final point. So this point, and this is the last point. Okay, so your arc, sorry, cycloid, it will start from this P point, and then it must end at the same position. Okay, so this is the last point. Okay, so this is how you can complete this. So if you want, you can take the screenshot.